Hi, my name's Rich, and today we're going to run through D&D Beyond and how to create a new character from scratch. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. First thing we should do is to create an account on D&D Beyond. Once you've done that, registered, you would go down to the collection and then My Characters. If you don't have any books bought, they should give you 6 character slots available. So you go over and click Create a Character. This will give you several options. We're going to go for Standard. Now you can add your character's name. Let's call him Charlie. Okay? Don't worry about the sources. Advancement type means what sort of experience you're going to use. You should talk to the DM before you start making your character to decide if you're going to go with milestones or experience. Experience is given by the DM, and it's more of a encounter by encounter leveling up system. Milestone means you just skip from one level to the next, and it usually happens in an important plot point when you finish a boss or complete a dungeon, but that's up to the DM's discretion. With hit points, you have the choice of fixed or manual. We're just going to go with fixed for now because this is a quick way to set up a character. If you click manual, that means you'll have to start rolling dice and figuring out modifiers, and that's a bit advanced for today's video. Personally, I prefer my ability modifiers on the top instead of the score. So, when you've decided on your different options, you click the little arrow on the right and move on to classes. Now filter race sources. We're going to go with the basic rules because that's what you get for free. So you have the choice of several different classes. For this, Charlie will be an elf. Now each elf and each sub-race has different statistics and different advantages, but for the sake of simplicity, we're going to go with a wood elf. They get +2 dexterity, dark vision, keen senses, fey ancestry, and trance as their skills. The other ones are interesting, but the main thing we're looking at today is the +2 dexterity. So Charlie the Wood Elf. You can find out what all of these different things mean down below here. And you can click on the details page to get more in-depth about the Wood Elf and other races. You can change your race to whatever suits you before you move on, but feel free to experiment and try out different races. Next, we'll choose a class. If you want to preview what the class does, then click on the class and it'll give you an idea of what you do, how much hit points you might get, your primary abilities, and what saves you have. For a quick rundown, one of the simplest and easiest classes to use are Fighter. You basically just have to run up and hit something with your axe. If you're intimidated by advanced rules or you're unsure about how to play the game, a Fighter is a great way to start off. So this will take you to your class features. If it's got a blue outline around it, it means you have to choose. Now if he's a fighter, he'll be good at athletics, that's connected to strength. And we'll try insight as well. And with fighter, you get to choose what fighting style you'd like. This helps determine your character. If you want a more in-depth guide about fighter, then please check my other video, linked in the description. This will give you a guide from fighter abilities between level 1 and level 20. So the Wood Elf Archer, we'll go for archery. If you want to start at a different level, just click on the level modifier here. Let's start him off at level 5. This will give you lots of different abilities, but the main thing is to experiment, because you don't have to commit to one character at the beginning. You can try some out and then decide what you want to stick at a later time. For ability scores, there are lots of different ways to calculate it. You can roll 4d6 dice, and take the 3 highest. You do this 6 times and then you get to dish them out between strength, dexterity, constitution, intelligence, wisdom and charisma. You can try point buy, which is a little bit more complicated, or manual, and then standard array is what we're going for. It will give you the choice between 8, 10, 12, 13, 14 and 15. Now if we're a Wood Elf fighter, I think dexterity should be the main thing we focus on. Trying to launch as many arrows as possible, and followed by constitution, strength. Fighters don't have to be intelligent unless you're going to pick the Eldritch Knight. But for now, let's just give him 10 intelligence, make him a little bit more wise, and he's not a very open people person, so let's give him 8 charisma. Now, let's move on to the description. This is where you get to decide more about your character, give them a backstory and give them some more details. For now, Charlie the Archer, let's put him down as a soldier. That seems appropriate. You get a short description about what background you've chosen, and some backgrounds have skill proficiencies and tool proficiencies. A lot of this is giving you drop-down menus, so it's a lot easier to organise. I know that if you get a character sheet put in front of you, it can be quite intimidating. But don't feel obliged to fill everything out when it comes to your backstory. After you've played a session or two, you'll get to grips with the character more and you'll have a better idea of what they're all about. And this is the famous Dungeons & Dragons alignment chart. I'm sure you've seen a lot of memes about it. Let's go for Chaotic Good. Make him a Robin Hood style character. Now, the lifestyle generally doesn't have a big influence on the game, but it helps give your character a bit more personality. Then you have the physical characteristics. Let's make him a dude. Let's make him 100 years old, because elves like to live long. And he's got long blonde hair. Now let's move on to the equipment. Each character gets a set of starting equipment, or the choice of gold and buying their own equipment. But for today, just to make it quick and easy, we're going to click on the equipment, and it'll give you some choices. Let's give him a leather armor and a longbow. I don't think heavy chainmail armor is suitable for an archer. He's not going to be in hand-to-hand combat. Let's give him some hand axes, a martial weapon and a shield. As a fighter, you'll be proficient in all of these weapons, so don't worry which one you pick. Just go with something you think will look cool. If he's high in dexterity, I know rapier or a scimitar? I think it's pronounced scimitar. So we'll go with that. And then a Dungeoneer's pack or an Explorer's pack. If you click on one or the other, it'll give you an idea of what's in the pack. Let's go for an Explorer's pack for now. And because we chose the soldier background, we get some additional things in our inventory. I think these are just character building things. We don't really need them. They're not essential to the game. So, once you've finished deciding what you want to get, click on the red Add Starting Equipment button at the bottom. And that should be automatically added to your inventory. You can export it to a PDF so you can print it out, or it might be easier if you use a graphics program, or you can just click the View Character Sheet. And we have Charlie, the male Wood Elf fighter. Now let's go down to the equipment and equip the bow and arrow and the leather armor. Let's equip the scimitar as well, just so he's got something in his hand in case anybody gets close. And there you have it. That should be everything you need to start playing a character. Well, thanks for watching, and I hope you learned something good today. Don't forget to subscribe for weekly D&D content, and if you're interested in making a character but you're still unsure about anything, feel free to jump into the Discord and I'll be happy to help out. Okay, thanks for watching. Goodbye.